I'm beginning to learn that the setting up and creating of a great video is all about preparation. Unfortunately, where I placed the camera the night before last, I didn't actually get anything worth looking at, and so I tried to set this one up so I could see down the garden as well as where the hedgehogs might be feeding. I'm going to try somewhere different again tonight, because although I did get some reasonable footage, I didn't get exactly what I wanted, and for some reason instead of doing the full minute, it was only recording about 10 or 5 seconds each time when the fox finally turned up at about 5 to 4 this morning. This is Arthur. He doesn't live here, but try telling him that. 6:25, and Sam's laying down some hedgehog food in the bowl and also chucking some mealworms around just to see if they eat off the ground. This is our cat Boris. He's the only cat that actually lives at this house and the only one that should be in this garden, but as you'll see, quite a few visitors to our garden. I did find it quite amusing that when Boris came back down to go in the cat flap when he'd finished doing whatever he was doing, he just sat there and the birds are quite happily feeding in the bath and eating from the bird feeders, completely oblivious. They don't see him as a threat, obviously. I do intend to try and get some daytime footage of the bird feeder and the bird baths, but I have tried and not been really satisfied with the results I've gotten so far. So until I have something decent, I won't be putting it up. "20 to 8 in the evening, and the magpie turns up. He knows that there's going to be some good food down there and decides that it's for him. So first of all, this black and white cat turns up, and then a black cat turns up as well following it, and they both decide to mark their territory by spraying in the bush. I didn't show any footage of that because it's not particularly pleasant. What was unusual is just as it turns night time, you can see Boris suddenly turns up and starts sniffing around the area, although he doesn't actually mark his own territory and he's the only one who lives here. If you look now at the bench, at the very foot of the bench, as Boris is walking back towards the house, there's a little hedgehog there. They obviously didn't notice each other, and Mr. Hedgehog is going to go and get some food. I think he's probably eating the mealworms off the floor at the moment. Another cat who doesn't live here, he obviously likes to just jump up and sit on the wall for a little while and then wander off again. At half midnight, I decided to check on the equipment and also have a look, see if any mealworms have gone and see if any of the biscuits have been eaten yet. Having watched this little fellow just fall off the top of the decking, Samantha and I have decided we're going to build a little ramp there for the hedgehogs, make it a little easier for him to get up and down so he can get to the food without having to actually fall. It's about 6 to 8 inches, but for a little hedgehog I guess that's quite a fall. He then walks along at ground level by the bottom of the decking and reappears by the bench and appears to be completely unharmed and makes his way to get some food. So just before 3 o'clock in the morning, Fluffy Cat turns up again and comes for a wander at the garden. I speeded up the film a little bit here just to show him going to the wall. Then he jumps up onto the wall, sits there for a little while, and then comes back and wanders off. 25 to 4 in the morning, and this black and white cat turns up. What is interesting about this clip is that it doesn't re-emerge again until after the fox has been and gone. A little bit disappointed with the footage of the fox, sorry about that. For some reason the camera only recorded like 5-second clips, 10-second clips. I don't know why it did that. I did set it for record whole minutes, but anyway, this is the footage I got of Mr. Fox or Mrs. Fox this morning. So I'm guessing this black and white cat knew the fox was there and waited for it to be well clear, because it's nearly 5 o'clock before he comes back up the garden again to wander off. I'm guessing he was just hiding down the top end of the garden waiting for the fox to go. So that's it for another evening. Not mega amounts of footage, but I've got a little bit of the hedgehogs and the fox, and I will keep moving the camera around, trying to get better positions, see if I can get some better footage during the evenings. You may notice in this little clip, as Arthur's walking up the garden towards the wall, our cat Boris is in our bedroom window having a good old watch, seeing what he's up to. Finally, this ginger cat turned up and started sniffing around where all the other cats had been spraying and had a little spray himself. That's it for today. Look forward to sharing some more clips with you at a later date.